back in July, which wasn't actually that long ago at all, but Together confirmed it had been cautiously lending throughout, kind of behind the scenes. And although it was unlikely to resume its pre-COVID-19 activity levels for some time, I think that's what was quoted in that report in July. Has that thought process changed at all? And have you been cautiously lending across all products or just a few of them?
So we continued to fund throughout lockdown, but it was with a restricted budget. And that's because while we had to restructure our business and take the necessary group exec decisions that were made at the beginning of lockdown to change the way our business operates, to maintain a sustainable and a responsible business, we were restricted with the budgets we had. To put that in context, pre-COVID, we funded approximately around 200 million a month. And last month, that was reduced down to just under 50 million. So you can see the impact it's had on why, as a business of our size, we've had to take some, hard decisions, but decisions that were necessary to sustain the business model we want for the future. And so, yeah, for the short term, we will focus on unregulated lending. That's been a core focus for us. But our budgets are growing month on month, and that's across reg and unreg. But we just have to be careful and cautious how we return to a distribution model that was pre-COVID.
Sure. With the under £50 million a month, was that how much was going towards specialist lending? So, for example, bridging.
I was, from a specialist lending point of view, that's 45 million.
Okay, so it was the majority of that.
Yeah, and then you could split it further, but predominantly our business is focused around bridging.
And a lot of the lending during lockdown was necessitated by back book, so loans to the existing clients, and also, of course, our regulatory obligations. So there was stuff in the pipeline that we needed to fund because it was at a stage where it had to be funded. So that's what dictated a lot of that. I think going forward, as Sundeep rightly says, firstly, there's making sure that our funding is secured, so making sure we've got budgets to be able to move forward. But secondly, all the things that the market has been showing us over the last few months now needs to be part of how we operate a risk-based lending approach. So making sure that we understand where the market is, we understand what valuations are doing, and we understand what personal circumstances are likely to be changing during what is a volatile market. And the one thing for sure, what we think today might be different in a month's time. So making sure that we keep up to date on that is paramount, really.
Definitely. We're aware that you are providing bridging finance through an exclusive number of brokers at the moment. When did this start? And was this from July? And will you be opening this up to the wider broker market soon?
So we've been lending throughout lockdown, as mentioned before. I think from a bridging perspective, we've got to be careful, as mentioned. Our funding's got to be controlled, but it's allowing us to deal with a limited distribution, which allows us to test and implement our automation innovation tasks that we have, which are gradually being dropped into our process. To give you an idea, we've probably completed about 12 months work of innovation and automation within the last 5 months. So behind the scenes, we've been very busy making our business more efficient, to cope with almost a return to high levels of lending. But we're doing this gradually because we understand, we want to get bits right first, not throw it all in one go. The feedback we're getting from our partners is crucial. So, for example, it's not just sales and products that are responding to feedback. We've got credit, risk, operations, all now involved in the broker feedback, which is hopefully making our journey in terms of transacting with us a lot more slicker. And as our process gets slicker and our budgets open up more, yes, the distribution will widen, but we'll control it to an extent to make sure that we come back, that it's a prudent way of returning.